All right, so good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. It's another wonderful day, and today is Friday. And as we used to do, today is going to be question and answer session. So I guess you are prepared, and we are going to do a lot today. I'm going to take time to listen to your questions, then we take time to answer them nicely so that it can help your trading journey to be more impactful and successful. So, my name is Brother Emmanuel, and I'm going to be your coach for this morning's session. So, I guess you are well prepared to learn with me, right? So, if you can hear me loud and clear, you are here and you can hear me loud and clear. I want to do this exercise. We are about 35 in numbers now. We are about 35 in numbers. So, um, let me know your name and where you are also joining from. Let me know your name and where you are joining from. So we are about 35 in numbers, and I guess you keep sharing the link. You keep sharing the link because I expect us to be more than this, and I guess you keep sharing the link. So let me know your name and where you are joining from. So we have um Ambassador Saul, that is Saul from UAE. So Saul from UAE, and then also you also have Byron from Kenya. Byron from Kenya. So let me know your name and where you are also joining from this morning. Let me know your name and where you are also joining from. So we have Chief Andokari from United States of United States of Nigeria. So this one you always want to use to laugh. So you have Kevin from Ghana, and then Margaret from South Sudan. Margaret from South Sudan. And then we also have Ben Brains from Ghana. Ben Brains from Ghana. So let me know your name and where you are also joining from. So, Afonso from USA. Afonso from USA. Prosper from Ghana. Mutanu from Kenya. And then also, is it Bose from Nigeria? Bose from Nigeria. If I'm not able to pronounce the name correctly, please forgive me. Okay, so let me also know your name and where you are also joining from. So we also have there is Angel from Ghana, but residing in Germany. Okay, so you are welcome. So we have Amar from Ghana, and then also that is United States of this one wants me to laugh this morning. United States of Water Shama. Hey, oh my goodness. We have Tairu from Ghana, and then also OBM from Nigeria, Nanajua from Ghana, Fresh Smile from Ghana. Hey, Fresh Smile, you are welcome. Then Mavis from Belgium. Shanita from Uganda. All right, so guys, keep sharing the link. Once you join, let me also know your name and where you are also joining from. So far, I think only few people have been able to introduce themselves. Alex from Ghana, only few people have been able to introduce themselves. You don't want me to know where you're also joining from. You don't want us to be friends. You don't want us to be family. Before I'll start, before we start our lesson, let me know your name, okay, and where you're also joining from. Meanwhile, keep sharing the link. So you also have Hannah from Ghana. Hannah from Ghana. So keep sharing the link, right? Keep sharing the link. Listen, one thing about joining Zoom meetings and some of these training is that one, it'll help your business to grow because the more you learn, the more you earn. And there is a saying that see a man diligent to his work, he shall stand before kings and queens. If you really want to grow very fast, you should be diligent in learning. Mary, you are welcome from UK. Mary, you are welcome from UK. So Godwin from Nigeria. Godwin from where? From Nigeria. So someone's asking, OBM, is that name or abbreviation for something? Hey, that is morning violence. So they need you here. All right, so guys, that is it. So see a man diligent to his work, he shall stand before kings and queens. If you really want to grow, you should desire the passion of learning, and you should always be the habit that whenever you want to learn something, you should engage someone in also learning the same with you. This is the easiest way you can travel very fast and far. Not just fast, but what? But far. So wherever you are joining any meeting, whenever you are joining any meeting, make it a habit to join with your team members. If you want to go far, go along with your team members. But if you want to go fast, go alone. Do you get it? If you want to go far, go along with your team members, but if you want to go fast, go alone. So if a man wants to grow very fast, he should learn the habit of learning alone. But if a man wants to grow far and go far, you should develop the habit of what? Of learning with people. That is the reason why we keep having these Zoom meetings, so that you can also join. You learn. We do not learn alone, but we learn with you, that we may all grow together. All right. So today is Friday, and as we used to do Friday, we mostly take time to ask questions or handle questions and answers to ensure all the doubts that you have about the meeting, all the doubts that you have about your training, all the doubts that you have about your business, you may take time to ask questions. Notwithstanding, we have from Monday to Saturday, we've been repping different meetings. Monday, trade settings, technical analysis, futures trading, introduction to futures trading, and all forms of trading session that goes on in the course of the week. And this will be the best time for you to meet with leaders, ask your question, and get the right answer to your question. Right? So this one, that's what we are going to do. So I'm gonna take time to handle all your questions, and I believe you can hear me. Because sorry, this one I'm having a little cold. I'm having cold, but we move. We surely have to progress. So I'm not going to lean on my weakness, but I'm going to lean on the strength for us to do something great this morning. But I guess it's too good for you to hear me loud and clear, because I can feel that I'm not bringing out the good voice that I have to produce for you to hear me right. But I guess it's okay. So we can proceed. So Matthew from Zambia, and then also Solomon from Ghana. All right, so guys, this morning is question and answer session, and I'll give you the room for you to start asking your questions. You see, by God's grace, so far we are trading on both the sports markets and then on the futures markets. We are trading on both the sports markets and then on the futures market, and looking at things gradually, we are moving forward. You see, for the past week, we saw Bitcoin dropping in value and dragging most of the cryptocurrencies um down the line. But it seems for the past 24 hours, we've seen a strong momentum pushing the market uptrend, and which is also amazing. And now I've seen a lot of people asking questions about is there going to be bull run? Is there going to be this? You see, and I've taken time to explain this over and over and over and over and over. And I'm still gonna take time to explain something to you this morning. I'm still going to take time to explain something to you this morning. Listen, I know a lot of people are going to give up on the way, but it shouldn't be you. Listen, I know a lot of people are going to give up because maybe you've been waiting and expecting the bull run to happen for so many years. Oh, they said last year it will happen, it couldn't happen, and this year too it will happen, it's not happening. What is happening in the markets? You see, the fact is that market changes with time. Market changes with time. And I can vividly tell you the market cycles that has happened over years. This time round, it is not the same as it used to be. It's not the same as it used to be. You see, this particular 2025, this particular cycle, I can tell you that the institutional traders are more than the retail traders. You see, at first, crypto markets make decisions based on retail traders, what we call the street boys. The street boys decide for the market. Now, institutional traders are in the market. This is the reason why you see crypto is always different from forex. And now you can see institutional traders are coming into crypto again, are coming into crypto, and they are changing and balancing the game. Do you get it? So over here, I'm telling you that this cycle will happen, but it's going to be something short. Listen, it's going to be something short, and this time round too, it's not going to be like those previous cycles where you see all altcoins pumping high, 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 high. No, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that. And let me tell you something. There is going to be a recession. There is going to be a recession. Listen to me. There is going to be a recession. When you talk of a recession, that's called market crash. It happens. Market crash. Look, before the market will crash, the cycle will surely happen. We have less than 6 months for we have about, is it 4 months? We are in the 8 months now, which simply means it's left with only 4 months for this particular 2025 to end. We just started January reset, and now we are in the 8 months. So look at it. You see, that's the reason I always been saying that if you are the type that you like playing around and postponing things, you are just postponing your destiny. Because sooner or later, you will live to regret it and realize that how I wish I would have done this so earlier than me being here. Because there is a saying that time and tide do what? Wait for no man. So looking at this particular cycle, the bull run will happen and it's going to be a short period of time. Listen, it's going to be a short period of time. It took just 24 hours or 72 hours for BTC to rise from this previous all-time high to a new all-time high, and it's made a record. Record was made that particular week. Just 72 hours. Rise from 100 and the previous all-time high was 111k. Then it's jumped from 111k to what? 123k. So, history has been made. Listen, so this simply means this cycle is going to reward. Listen, this cycle will be a reward to certain group of people. This cycle is going to be a reward to certain group of people, that is those who pay the price. Not those who are going to pay the price, but those who pay the price. But the fact is that the market will continue to remain as it is as a market. Listen, the fact is that the market will continue to remain as a market. But the next question is, will you continue to remain as a trader? Either there is going to be a recession or not. So the amazing thing here is that when you come to Royal Kio, it's both sports and then futures. If you have some holdings on the sports market, this is the best time for you to exercise patience, because sooner or later, boom, you will see the market pumping very high. All of a sudden, you will see your gains and you make your decision. But the recession will surely happen. You get it? So they said, um, it's a matter of time. You need to take time and then also prepare yourself. That is the reason why I've always been saying that as a man who want to who believes in felicity, you should always aim low, because when you aim low, there is a saying that we should aim high, but felicity means aim low. The more you aim low, the more you get more results and happiness. So over here, looking at the current the upcoming recession that will happen in the market, it will favor us, because that will be the time that we will short the market. We will short the market and short and short and short the market till time. You see, so we are anticipating for better things to happen in the market. And once we are anticipating for those things to happen, we have to keep learning over time. We have to keep preparing ourselves over time. We have to keep preparing ourselves over time. Listen, it's a cycle, and market goes, market comes, market goes, market comes. But traders should always remain traders. That is the fact. And as a trader, your responsibility is to learn, understand the cycle, and after understanding the cycle, that is when you can be able to position yourself well to make good results in the market. All right. If you have any question, you can raise your hand to ask your question, or you can type it in the chat box for me to answer or help you, for us to discuss it together. Okay. So if you have any question, you raise your hand, both about the sports, about the futures, about your trading, or whatever you want to know about the market you're trading, Royal Kio. Raise your hand and ask your question. Raise your hand and ask your question, or you can also write it in the chat box for me to help you get clarity. Okay, so we are about 56 in numbers. We are about 56 in numbers now. And if you have any question, you can feel free to type your question in the chat box so that we can help. Yes. So do you have YouTube channel? Yes, we have YouTube channel. We have YouTube channel. So please let me use this opportunity to also inform you. It seems some people have been giving complaints that maybe you are not aware of that. You may join a Zoom meeting. The crypto ambassador Zoom meeting is no longer in effect. Listen, if I say it's no longer in effect, that means it's no longer in effect or favoring Royal Kio. So the owner is using it to record different investment Ponzi scheme platform, which is not going to be good for you. So please abstain from it. Abstain from it. So of course we've got a YouTube channel that we are going to use to record all our meetings and then also help traders to learn from it. So please, that is the information that I have to pass whilst we keep learning. So if you ask question about the YouTube channel, that is the what we have. So yes, we have YouTube channel and we will drop it for everyone to follow and then have watch all the lessons or the tutorial that you are supposed to know about Royal Kio. So pay attention to that. So yes, you will get it. So please, I need a link to YouTube channel. Yes, so you will get it. It will be dropped here. Okay. All right. Then so please, if you have any question, you raise your hand, you ask your question. If you have any question, raise your hand. So what leads to a recession or economic downturn in crypto space, and what are the factors to look out for? So what leads to recession? All right. So now in every market there is a recession. And when we talk of recession, we mean market crash. Okay, market crash. And mostly recession follows different trend. Okay, recession follows different trend. And this is what happened. At a point in time in every cycle, traders' confidence begins to go down. That's the first thing. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a link for you. So traders' confidence goes down at a point in time. But before traders' confidence goes down, this is what happens. Okay, so those asking for the link. Okay. So please, those asking for the link, I've dropped it in the channel, the Zoom channel. So I've dropped it here. So now this is what happened. Anytime the market rises, it gets a certain peak. That is a certain level where a lot of traders begin to increase momentum, make more profits. And as traders begins to make more profits, institutional traders are at a point in time, they've made good results there, and that is where they have to come out of the market. Now, once institutional traders begin to get out of the market, most traders begin to lose confidence in the market. And the more people loses confidence in the market, the more the market begins to do what? Crash. It's a hype. You see, the crypto market, every market follows hype. And the more there are positive hype, the more you see that, of course, people begin to invest more. Now, people begin to lose confidence because the hype is no longer, the hype does not exist in the market again. And this point in time, you begin to see that more investors will draw back their money out of the market. Now, this is an institutional game. And if more people withdraw their money or more people continue to release their money out of the market, what will happen to the market? There will be a crash. So investors' confidence will go down. And the more investors begin to lose confidence in the market, the more the market does not crash. So to the layman's understanding, now there are more to that where we can go draw it down to economic reasons to why these factors happens. But to the layman's understanding, every trader needs to understand that before there will be a market crash, it simply means most institutional traders one get out of the market. And after institutional traders get out of the market, traders begins to lose confidence because the market's hype begins to go low. And as market hype begins to go low, now what happens to the market? It begins to draw down. Do you get it? All right. If happens to say that, okay, let me go back to my economic classes, then I think I can go deeper and then also give more to that. But I want to explain it to everyone's common understanding for you to get it clear. Now, please, for the margin configuration and the margin multiple ratio, so please, for the margin configuration and the margin multiple ratio, which of the first buy-in amounts the both used to multiply when punching the margin cost? So we're not getting your question clear. So, for the margin configuration and the margin multiple ratio, so multiple buy-in ratio, which of the first buy-in amounts the both used to multiply when punching the margin cost? Please, can you come again with your question? Because I'm not getting it clear. So, hello, brother Emmanuel. Kindly, on the RSI 6, RSI 12, RSI 24. Kindly, when do I get to enter sell short and long buy? What should RSI 6, RSI 12, RSI 24 read literally? So, now when it comes to the use of RSI, we said the RSI 6 means the recent price movement. RSI 12 means the mid price movement, and then also RSI 24 means the long-term price movement. So kindly, when do I enter sell shorts, or when do I enter shorts and long? What should each RSI 6 read literally? So we've always given the RSI entry points within 40 to 50, within 40 to 50, and within this mid. So let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so I guess you can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, give me one in the chat. Can you see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen. Is my screen visible? All right. Okay, so let's proceed. Let's proceed. Okay, so guys, so what when it comes to RSI, you said you have the RSI. Where is it? Oh, all right. So let's proceed. We have the RSI, RSI 6, RSI 12, then RSI 24. Now, RSI 6 simply means recent price movements. That is recent price movements. RSI 24 simply means mid price movements. And then RSI 24 means long term price movements. Okay. Now, we said the RSI has got an entry point, or it's a momentum indicator that helps the trader to identify entry and then also exit points. Entry and then exit points. So we said using the RSI 6, RSI 24, and then RSI 12, you should consider your entry within 40 to 50. Within, that is on both long and short. That is to those, not those who are using the fixed indicator, but I mean those who are reading the charts using RSI. Okay, those who are reading the charts using RSI. So your best entry point is within 40 to 50. That is within this range for both long and then short. For both long and then short. Now we know that for long, it should be right from 50 below 40. And then from for long, it should be from 40 towards 50, within the range from 40 towards 50. And then for long or short, the next one is short. So if it is long, it simply means that the market is down going up. And then if it is short, it simply the market is up going down. That is what it means. So if it is short, the trader focuses on what? Within the range of 50 to 40. So it's vice versa. On the long position, you look at the 40 range to 50. And then on the short position, you look at below 50 to 40. That is it. So please, if you ask about the RSI 6, RSI 12, RSI 24, that is what you can do. 40 towards 50 range. That is what can give you a confirmation entry with the moving averages. All right. So let me answer the next question. Okay. Please, for the margin configuration, under margin multiple buy-in ratio, which of the first buy-in amounts the both used to multiply when purchasing the margin calls? When purchasing the margin calls. Okay, so now when it comes to margin calls, if I get you clear and if I can answer according to what you are asking, I guess you want to know which of the first buying amounts the both used to multiply when purchasing the margin calls. So when purchasing the margin calls, let's assume that is your multiple buying ratio. Your multiple buying ratio. So before the bot will be able to use your money. Okay. So before the bot will be able to use your money, first what it does is your multiple buying ratio. That is the number of times you want to do what you want to buy the assets. So let's assume you say 2 times. If I get you question, I'm asking based on the question that you've asked. So if it is not according to that, you let me know. So if you say 2 times, it simply means the bot is going to buy 2 times of your FBA. 2 times of your FBA. If your FBA is what is 30, it's going to be 2 times what 30. So if it's 0.1, it's going to be 0.1 times 30. That is going to be the amount that is supposed to buy from your multiple buying ratio. Right? Okay. So please guess if that's the right question you're asking.
Please let me set in. Good morning to you all. It's
Please, are you
freshman.
asking a question? Please, are you asking a question?
Yeah, based on
Hello?
the question that I sent in the chat box. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to know, like, first buying amount of FBA, is it the one that we set in our strategy, or the one that when we are about to calculate, maybe if the coin is equivalent to $5, you divide and you multiply by the one that you want to. Is it that one or the one that we set in the strategy?
Oh, okay. So the first one that you set is your first buying amount. The first one that you set is your first buying amount. So here is it. Let's go to Royal Kio. So these are Royal Kio. So can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. I guess you can see my screen now. So these are Royal Kio. Now
Yeah.
over here, let's get any assets. So let's see this. Okay. Click on create. Okay. All right. So any of these, then create. So over here, this is your first buying amount, right? This is your first buying amount. Now,
Yeah.
this is the margin calls. So you go to margin configuration. So this is the multiple buying ratios. Okay, the multiple buying ratios. So you have your multiple buying ratios here. This is it. So the first one that you see is your first buying amount, and then the second strategy setup is your multiple buying ratio. Please, do you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
All right. So if you want to know which comes first, first is your first buying amount, your FBA, that comes first. Then after that one has been bought and exhausted in the market, that is when it begins to chase your multiple buying ratios. All
Uh,
right.
I I thought multiple buy-in ratio, like if the boat is to purchase your margin cost, it purchase. You see, yours is 20 or 30 or 40, 40. So I thought maybe yours is 0.15 or 1.5. I thought
Yeah.
it's that one the boat used to multiply by or the 40 of your first buying amount.
Yes. So before you do that, actually you've already done the calculation. You know your total capital, okay, to be used. If your total capital is, let's say, 100, you know that out of the 100 you are using $40 already. You're already using what? $40, which simply means this amount, this 0.5 simply means 0.15 times this 40. This 40, that is what is going to give us the multiple. This is the number of times, but then we don't know the actual amount. So the actual amount is the number of times the first buying amount. That is going to give you this, the number of times you can buy. This is the number of times, but it is not indicating the actual amount. So for you to get like $40 or the amount to buy, you multiply the number of times, which is 0.15 times 40. That will give you the amount to be bought using your 0.15.
So now, what's the difference between the first buying amount of the one that we have saved, like 40, and the one that when confirmed to trade, we divide and get that one too? What's the difference between that first buy amount and this one first buying amount?
The first one that you set is your first buying amount. This is your multiple buying ratio.
Please, can you go back and let me alert you?
All right. This is it.
You see, this one is the first buying amount. But
Yeah.
when the trade comes and they want to trade, let's say the coin, let's say maybe 1,000 pp, the equivalent of 1,000 pp that we can trade in USDT is 5.
Okay.
You
So
see, we divide.
this is spot. So hold on. This is spot. So let me open the futures for you so that you can proceed.
Uh,
All right. So let me see futures. So all right, then proceed.
okay, let's go to settings and let me show you that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, the first buying amount that we can trade for this AAV or IV is 0.1. So maybe if I decided to trade 10, if I
Okay.
decided to trade have 10 USDT, is this the one that the both used to multiply by the multiple buy ratio, or the one that I have
No.
already set?
No. No. Over here, the 0.1 half that you see here simply means that is the minimum entry you can buy for this particular asset. This is not telling you that it should be your first buying amount, but it is telling you the minimum threshold each trader can enter here. You see, when it comes to the futures trading, unlike the spot market where you can choose to trade any amount, the futures market, every asset has the minimum threshold a trader can buy. Do you get it? So
Yeah, for this
this is
one, I
the
get it.
reason why on Royal Kio, it alerts you that 0.1 is the FBA here because that is the minimum amount. So if you want your actual first buying amount like 10, you have to come here and do the calculation. Wherefore, they've given you 0.1 to be what? To be 28. Which simply means if you want to enter 10, you can't enter 10 here unless you change the assets. I don't know if you
Yeah,
get it.
I get it. Yeah. At first, I thought maybe they both use the one that I calculate here, maybe $10 that maybe I want to use to trade to multiply by the multiple ratio. Okay, I get it.
No. All right. Okay, so you're welcome. Let me take the next question. So, um, okay, let me see. Please, why is it that one can enter a trade for almost 24 hours, yet liquidation price is not showing. Yes. So now, one thing about trading on the futures is that not all assets that indicates liquidation price. So mostly you can set up a trade and you wouldn't see liquidation price till the trade end. It is normal. So anytime you set up a trade and it happens that you don't see liquidation price, sometimes not all assets that gives liquidation price. That is the reason why I think when we started this futures trading, I taught on how to calculate for what, for liquidation price. How to calculate for what, for liquidation your liquidation price. And we gave the formula for long position and then also short position on how you can calculate it yourself. So it is not always the case that you see liquidation price. So please take notice of that. Maybe you are not aware. So now you should be aware that liquidation price it is not the case that it's always given. Sometimes you wouldn't see your liquidation price. It is normal. And it's bound to the trader to make calculations on that. All right, so let me see. Can I set up the bot to enter a position with a coin for both long and short and then cancel the trade that wasn't triggered? In this case, should I close cross? Should I trade cross or isolated margin? Thanks. Okay, can I set up the bot to enter position with a coin for both long and short and then cancel the trade that wasn't triggered? Yes, of course, you can do that. Yes, of course. So, whenever you set up a position, we all know that you can trade both long and short at the same time, and that is the meaning of hedging. That is the meaning of what? Of hedging. So, you can hedge a trade, of course. And anytime you hedge a trade, you are still bound to cancel the trade. Listen, canceling here doesn't mean that you get everything accurately. If the trade goes against you before you close it, you lose something out of what you've closed. And if it was in profit too, that is it. Now the next question is, in this case, should I trade cross or isolated margin? Now, either you trade cross or use isolated margin, yet you can still hedge the trade, or you can still open both long and short and cancel it anytime that you want. So I've always been saying that using cross or isolated should always be the personal decision of the trader based on his understanding. Do you get it? That is the reason why we keep having the sessions explaining all those terms so that the trader can understand what it means and why he is making that decision. And by God's grace, Royal Kio is transferring and changing era. Listen, Royal Kio is transferring and they are changing era. So we are moving from the era of having investment mindset to a trader's mindset. Wherefore, which simply means you should be informed. You need to understand why you are making a decision. Do you get it? That is the reason why this time round, in the course of relearning, I'll talk about team building and I'll say something about this thing because this is the time that every trader needs to understand that you no longer need to be spoon feed, but you need to grow in understanding. So when it comes to the use of cross or isolated, I've always been saying that. Now, why do you use cross margin? Why do you use cross margin? You use cross margin because you want to, I mean, open more margins by protecting your capital and then also buying more margin calls. That is the reason why you are using what? You are using cross margin. At the same time, if you are using isolated margin, you are also protecting your capital from getting from all being what? Liquidated. So the person using isolated margin, the main reason why someone may choose to use isolated margin is because that person wants to prevent himself from um getting liquidated with all his funds or all his capital. Do you get it? Getting liquidated from all his funds or capital. That is the reason why may choose to use isolated margin. So I've been saying that if you are trading on multiple trades, You may choose to use isolated margin because if it happens that one trade should be liquidated, it may happen or it may affect all the trades in the market. Yet, if you are using cross margin, if you are using isolated margin and you are trading on multiple assets, only one trade will be liquidated and then the rest will still be in the market. So with this understanding, I think it will help you to make decision based on your personal understanding. All right, let me take the next question. Now, please can you kindly okay, so please let me read from the top to the down. So do you add more margin cost when you realize your both to be you are about to be liquidated, or you hedge? Now, listen, hedging is not a way of preventing liquidation. Hedging is not a way or a means of preventing liquidation, but hedging is a way or a means of sizing opportunity. Hedging is a means of sizing what opportunity in the market. So if you are getting liquidation or you are getting closer to liquidation, what do you need to do? What you need to do is to open more margin calls. Now, getting to closer to liquidation simply means your money is getting you are getting out of funds. Getting closer to liquidation simply means you are getting out of funds and the market is still going against your control. That is the reason you are getting liquidated. So what you need to do is to add funds or open margin calls. Now, if you hedge a trade, hedging a trade simply means, let's assume you are in Africa. There are more opportunities in Africa that you want to size that opportunity. What is happening? What is shell? Oh, what is happening? Guys, please, the co-host should hold on, hold the meeting for me. I will join within a minute. What's happening? Oh God. All right, so I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. All right, can you proceed? Can you proceed? Can you proceed?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes.
So, all right. And so, those who are asking should write them back for me, please. Sorry for that. Okay. Sorry for that. All right. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So, what was I even talking about? So, ask your question, please. Ask your question. Okay. Please, I have a problem on calculating first buying amounts and margin calls on futures trading. Please kindly take me through. I have a problem with calculating first buying amounts and margin calls. Now, this is it. Let me share my screen. This is it. It's something simple, and take it once and for all right from this meeting. Listen, this is it. So let's go to Royal Kio. Let's go to Royal Kio. So these are Royal Kio. Just some more currency here. So now create, click on understand, then click on trade settings. Now over here, look at it. Over here you can see this amount, which is it. You can see this amount, which is 3,300,000 ship. 3,300 what? Thousand ship. Can you see it? Very good. And that is giving you 42. That is giving you 42. You get it? So it's giving you 42. What you have to do is that you first decide on the amount you want to use to trade.
We
So
can't see
if
your
you
screen.
decide, you can see my screen.
Yes.
If can you see now? If you decide that if $10 is going to be my first buying amount, then you decide on the leverage to use. Leverage to do what? The leverage to use. Can you see now?
We can't see your screen, please. We can't see it.
Oh, can you see?
Not yet.
Maybe you should stop hearing and hear it again.
Let me check and see. Let me reshare it then. It's trying to. Okay, so let me reshare it. All right. Can you proceed now? You see it now?
Exactly. It's coming up now.
Yes.
You can see it.
All right. So please mute your call. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So over here, you can see 3,300,000 ship, which is giving you 42.801 USDT. 0.801 USDT. So if I want to use $100 as my first buying amount, maybe I have $1,000 and I want to use $100 as my first buying amount. First, I have to check my leverage. Am I going to use 10x or 5x? If I'm going to use 10 x, that is going to be 10 times what? 1,000. Sorry, 100. That is going to give me 1,000. Do you get it? So over here, when I come, I want to make sure that this place will be what? It will be 1,000 because my margin amount I'm expecting to enter as my first buy amount is what? Is 100. I don't know if you understand. So what we are saying is that if I want to set up my first buying amount, that is going to be 10 times 100. Since 100 is going to be my margin amount for my first buying amount. That is going to 10 times 1,000. So I'm going to 10 times 100, which is going to give me 1,000, right? So it's going to give me 1,000. I just have to come here. Look at this amount. Look at it. So let me clear all this. So when you look at this, 3,300,000 ship is equal to 42.801. So the simplest way to do this calculation is to come here, get your calculator. Now, get your calculator. 3,300,000 ship divided by 42.80 watt. Very good. 42.802. That is going to give you 77.01 USDT. So you just multiply the 77 by your 1,000. So I don't think this thing is correct, but let's see. 77 times 1,000. That is going to give you 7,000 times 1,000. Sorry, 77 what? 1,000. So look at it.
70,000.
Yes. So over here, when you get here, that is going to be 77,000, which is giving you 998. 900 and what? 90. Remember, we ignored the decimals. That's the reason we are getting 998. So you see, over here you are expecting to get 1,000 what? USDT here. 1,000 USDT. So if you want to calculate for your first buying amount, it's simple. First, the minimum value they will give you here, if it is 1,000, if the unit is what is 1,000, and then the equivalent of USDT is 10, you just divide this by 10. Divide it by what? By 10, and then you get the value. You multiply by the amount you want to buy. If it is 100, you multiply by 100. If it is 1,000, you multiply by 1,000. Then you get your first buying amount. Hope it's clear. Do you understand? Let me know if I've been able to answer you on your how to calculate for your first buying amount. How to calculate for your first buying amount. All right. It's not clear. The person who answered the question is saying it's okay. So, all right. Now, listen. Maybe you also want to use this opportunity to learn. Listen. What we are saying is simple. Come here. You want to know how to calculate for your first buying amount. Get an asset. So, let's change the assets. Get any abnormal asset, 0.7 AGLD. Click on create, click on understand, click on settings, manually create. Now, over here, it's a simple communication. It's a simple communication. Look at this. Look at this. That is 7 AGLD is equivalent to 5.1478 USDT. 5.1478 USDT. What we are saying is, maybe I want to make this place 1,000. Okay, I want to make sure that this place is 1,000. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to divide this by this 7 AGLD divided by 5.178. Then I'll multiply by the amount I want to enter, which is 1,000. That is all. So it's simple. Let's go. Let's get a calculator. 7 divided by 5.14 what? 78 will give me 1.3598. 1.3598. So 13598 times my first buying amount that I want to enter, which $1,000 or 100. So let me use 100 times 100. That is giving me 135.98. So it simply means 135.98 AGLD will give me 100 USDT. So 135.9. Okay, so 135. So instead of making it 0.98, let me run it. So 136 will give me what? 100 USDT. So at the end of the day, you look at this, you realize that based on your calculation, you've been able to get 136 AGLD, giving you 100 USDT. That is what we are saying will be your first buying amount. So if you want to calculate for your first buying amount, always check the minimum coin value that they are giving you. They said 5 AGLD is equal to 5 USDT. How much will 100 how much of 100 USDT be? So it's simple. So if I have 5, or let me clean it and then help you out with that. So if listen, if 10 AGL is equal to 5 USDT. Now the question is, how much will 100 USDT give us in AGLD? So we want answer for this. If you want this, it is just this divided by this. That will give us a value of 1. Then we multiply by 100. That will give us the value of this one. Do you get it? All right. So let me take the next question. You can also type your question in the chat box. So let me see. Please, for the entries using RSI at the decision zone 40 to 50, does it mean RSI should be 40 or an RSI 12 should be? No. Please, I guess you've missed the lesson. This was a previous lesson, so maybe it was a technical analysis class. It wasn't um any other distance. It was technical analysis class. So I guess you have to ignore that before you be confused. So I think the best way to calculate the FBA is getting the default FBA in coins. That is USDT figure show below multiply the amount used as your FBA, then multiply by the leverage. That's my simple formula. Okay. So it's not clear. Good morning. Let me see. Okay. Directly equivalent to 1,000 of exactly. So please complete this AGLD setting. Move the first buying amount and margin calls in case the market dip further. So let me see if the AGLD, we are still using it. So now, after I'm done with this, now what I've been saying is that when it comes to your trade settings, don't be in a hurry to go and do your margin configuration before you set up the trade. By the time you finish, you've seen sold and you'll still be in floating loss, or you'll be in loss. So when you are done with this, just come here, continue, and then set up your trade first before you even think of the margin configuration. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, come again, please.
What we are saying is simple. Now, there are some of you, by the time you even go into your exchange to change from, where is it? So you go even in your exchange, you change from cross isolated, time is already gone. So what we are saying is, or from isolated to cross, time is already gone. What I'm saying is that when it comes to your calculations, the most important thing here should be your first buying amount, how to calculate for it. After calculating this, set up the trade before you come back again to calculate for your margin calls. That will help you. If not, you will get back to see trade has been sold and yet you will still be in the market. This is something simple. You need to calculate for your margin calls. I'm not saying don't calculate for margin calls. Set up the trade, save the trade. After saving the trade, get back, activate, and then after you are done with that, you can proceed to do whatever you want to do. Do you understand? Do you understand that? All right. So let me see. I realized that after putting a margin call on running trade, the liquidation price moved closer to my entry. Was this because the first buy amount I put was less than the initial first buy? All right. So sometimes people do ask this question. Now it's relative. It's relative. It mostly depends on how fast the asset is rising against you. Do you get it? And mostly, you see, if your first buy amount is also higher, it also serves as an opportunity for it to do better. Do you get it? So let's assume you have $1,000 trade running. $1,000 trade run. Your first buy amount is $1,000, and or your initial first buy amount is $1,000, and then your margin cost, your first call has to buy maybe $5, second call has to buy $10, $15. You realize that the initial amount is very low, it's very high as compared to the previous margins. So it can also be a factor, but mostly it depends on the price movement, how fast the assets rises or go against you. All right. Now, please, the margin call. That's how to calculate the multiple buy-in ratio. How to calculate for the multiple buy-in ratio. How to calculate for the multiple buy-in ratio. Now, calculating for the multiple buy-in ratio, it's simple. So, click on trade settings. Then click on margin configuration. If you click on margin configuration, you are going to see this. Let me see. You are going to see this. So, okay. So, this is what you are going to see. You are going to see your multiple buying ratios. So, you are asking how to calculate for the multiple buying ratios. Now, if you want to calculate for the multiple buying ratios, the easiest or the simplest way to go by that, first, the number of times you want to buy the asset, maybe your total margin call limit is 20, right? 20. And total margin call limit is what? Is 20. And your first buying amount is $40. So come here, divide your total margin call limit by your first buying amount, which is 20 divided by 40. 20 divided by 40. So hold on. Sorry. Now this is it. So over here, first you see, you can see 2, 4, 6, 8 here. If you want to calculate for the multiple buying ratio, first we've already learned to know on last Monday we learned about how to calculate for the margin calls, how to set up a trade. So in your trade settings, we said, let's assume you have a strategy that you are using, or you have $100 that you are using. $40 is already in the market. If $40 is in the market, it simply means you are going to use $60 to trade or to open margin calls. You are going to use $60 to open the margin calls. If I'm going to use $60 to open the margin calls, the question is, how much will I buy at each drop? How much do I want to buy at each drop? So I'm going to divide this 60 by my total margin call limit, which is going to give me, if total margin call limit is 10, that is going to be 60 divided by 10. 60 divided by what? By 10. And 60 divided by 10 is going to give me 6. It simply means each drop, I'm going to buy $6. At each drop, I'm going to buy $6. Pay attention to this. It simply means at each drop, I'm going to buy $6. So here will be, I'll buy $6, $6 until the 10th call. But the question is, how many times will I buy the $6? how many times will I buy the $6? So that is where we are saying that since I know the number of times I'll be buying this, I have to simply go and then divide this 6 by my first buying amount, which is 40. So 6 divided by 40, let's look at it. 6 divided by 40, that will give me 0.15. 0.15. So anytime I see this, wherever I see 0.15, listen, anytime I see 0.15, it simply means I'm going to buy $6. And if you like, multiply and see 0.15 times your first buying amount, which is 40, will give you $6. Will give you how much? $6. You understand? So if I want to calculate for my multiple buying ratio, if I want to calculate for my multiple buying ratio, first I have to ask myself, how much do I have? My remaining balance. My remaining what? Balance that I'm going to use to set up the margin calls. My remaining balance that I'm going to use to do is set up the margin calls. Then I multiply by my I divide by my first buying amount, which will give me the multiple buying ratio. All right. So it takes a while to set up the settings. In case you get signal, what he says, what he's saying is settings first and wait for opportunity. I think I get it. All right, yes. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So hello, sir. I set futures trade long without multiplying my leverage with my first buying amount. I still want the trade, but I want to know if I'm losing more on my profits. I want to know if I'm losing more on my profits because I didn't consider the leverage on the first buy amount. Yes, it is important. If you don't do any calculation, you don't need to expect any better results. Yes, if you don't do any calculation, you don't need to expect any better results. Yes, listen, the reason I'm saying that is it is your calculation that because at the end of the day, listen to this. Let's assume I have this amount of money that I want to use. I have, let's say, $1,000, and I want to ensure $1,000 go into the market, but I didn't do any calculation. I just go there and then I set up the trade. It will just use maybe $10 out of the $1,000 to trade. It's not going to use the $1,000, just $10, which simply means the profit that I'll make will be based on $10 and not $1,000. So if you don't set up calculations right, don't expect any better profits. That is all. Hope that is clear, and I hope it will help you. Because without any better calculation, you shouldn't expect any better result. Without any better calculation, you shouldn't expect any better result. All right, let me see if there is any hand up. There is no hand up. So let me see if I've not answered all the question in the chat box. It takes a while to set up a trade here. So please, the margin call. That's how to calculate. So that's what I just that's what I just did. Then I realized that after putting a margin call on running trade, the liquidation price. So I guess I've answered that question. Then please complete the AGL. So we've just done that. We just did that calculation too. Then okay, it's not clear which one. So please for the entries, okay, I guess I've answered that. And then hello sir, set up features long multiplying. Okay, we've done that too. So let me see. Say I can't find LTC/USDT on my Royal Kio. I can't find LTC/USDT on my Royal Kio. So let's check to see if LTC/USDT is also there. Let's see. If it's not there, then it simply means it's not a coin that exists or that has been added to the Royal Kio platform. Okay, so let's see LTC. And LTC is Litecoin, right? LTC. So let's look at it. Let me see. If we need to add any coin first, let's try adding it futures. Seems I've already added everything. So if it's not there, then it simply means it's not something that exists on Royal Kio. So LTC. Let's see. Very good. Which simply means it's not something. So LTC is rather on the USDC pairs. It's on the what? On the USDC pairs. So here is it. It is not a USDT pair, but rather a USDC pair on Royal Kio. So this is it. This is it. LTC/USDC. It is not a USDT pair, but rather a USDC pair on Royal Kio. So take notice of that. All right. So let me get back to the charts. Okay. Can I have settings for $20 or $30 or $40 capital for futures trading? Please, can you explain to can you help to calculate for the liquidation price, because it gets scary when it's not showing after entering a trade for the long. Can I trade it using USDT or I need to have USDC? Yeah, so if you want to trade the USDC, if you want to trade that pair, you need to get USDC since it is not there. All right, so let me talk about this too. Now, how to calculate for $20? How to calculate for $20? All right. Now, if you have $20 that you want to use to trade, if you have $20, the question is how much capital, sorry, how much margin calls are you going to well, this severe headache I'm having cold. Okay, so sorry for that, but yet we move. All right. Okay, so with $20 capital, personally, I've always been advising if I have $20 capital, I'll just go straight in the market. Wow, amazing. This is becoming serious, guys. This is becoming so serious. This is becoming so serious. This code wants to get me out of the meeting. This code wants to get me out of the meeting. Let's learn. Let's proceed. All right, let's proceed, guys. Now, if I have $20 that I want to use to trade, I've always been saying the question is how much margin calls can you do what open with $20? How much margin calls can you open with $20? Personally, that is a personal advice, not financial advice. With $20, I would always prefer to advise them. Fine, if you want to use $5 as your first buying amount, that is fine. If you want to use amount, then you decide to use maybe the remaining balance. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. So if I have $20, how do I open trade? If I have $20, how do I open trade with $20? So let's look at this. So you click on create. Oh, wow, this morning the market is good for something. It's good for something, right? The market is good for something. So now 5 USDT. So over here, my first buy amount is going to be 5 USDT. So if my first buy amount is 5, that is this 5. Listen, this 5 is a multiple of your leverage. So let's assume I'm using 10x. I'm using 10x. Simply means my leverage that I have as 5 here, 5 USDT, simply means I'm using less than $1 to trade. You can do the calculation to see, divide 5 by 10 and see. It'll be 0.1. 0.1. So Before I dollars to trade, first I have to decide on the leverage. I have to decide on the leverage. I have to decide on the leverage. If I'm using all the $20, that is going to be 20 times 10. That is going to give me 200. Yet if I want to open margin call same $20 and use part of the $20 to trade, let's see. So let's assume my first buy amount is $5. So 5 times 10, that will give me how much? 50. So over here, the amount that I will enter here is 50, which simply means I have $15 remaining to open what? Margin calls. I have $15 remaining to open margin calls. So on this $15, I can choose to open how much? I can choose to use 5 margin calls. I can choose to use 5 margin calls. And using 5 margin calls simply means 5 by 15. 5 divided by, so let's look at it. 5 divided by 50 is not purely trade settings. So take notice of that. If you want to know more about trade settings, if God permits, Monday you can join the session. So 15 divided by 5, that's going to give me 3. 3, right? I'm going to get 3. So over here, what we are going to do is, it simply means each drop we are going to buy $3. Each drop you are going to buy how much? $3. Each drop you are going to buy how much? $3, which is going to be 3 times 30. Sorry, 3 times what? 10, which is going to give you 30. Hope you get it. All right. So the next thing, please, can you help me to calculate for the liquidation price, because it gets scary when it's not showing. It gets scary when it's not showing. So when we talk of the liquidation price, let me see if I can derive the formula for you. Let me reshare my screen. Let me derive the formula for you. Now, if I liquidation price, if I want to calculate for my liquidation price, it's simple. So we have the long and then short. If I'm on long, it's going to be my entry price minus 1 over leverage. 1 over the leverage. And then if it is short position, my entry price plus 1 over leverage. This is it. Entry price is 1 over leverage. That is for long position. And then entry price is 1 over leverage for short position. I guess this will help you. I guess this will do what? Will help you. I guess this will help you. Do you get it now? All right. Okay, so guys, let me see if there is any other hand up. Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear on the line? Because it seems I'm not seeing anyone.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, please.
All right. So that is it. So if you want to calculate for the liquidation price, that is your entry price. So check the value of your entry. Okay, your entry price minus 1 over your leverage. And then for long position, and then for short position, your entry price plus 1 over your leverage. That is all. That is how you can calculate for your liquidation price in case it's
Right.
not given. In case it's not given.
Short is entry price minus 1 over leverage for the short. That's what you said by your calculating. But here it seems you are turning it's
Pardon?
being I said you said for the short, the calculation of the entry price for the short, the leverage, the liquidation price. Short should
Okay.
be price minus 1 over leverage. But it seems when you are saying just right now, you said plus.
Okay, then. Sorry, it was a slip of tongue.
Okay.
So this is it. I guess I wrote it here. Where is it? Okay. So this is it. So this is what is written here. Hmm? This is what is written here. So this is for long. This is for short. Okay. So it's an inverse or opposite of the first one will be the second one. Please hope you can see it. So this is what is there. So entry price minus 1 over leverage, and then entry price plus 1 over leverage. So for long it's minus, and then for short it is plus. That is all. That is the difference. So it's an inverse of the long is the short. An inverse of the short is the long. All right. So let me know. Please repeat on the liquidation price, long and short. Okay, so that is it. Let me know if there is any other question. If there is any other question.
Okay, brother.
Okay, so hello.
I want to know if you want to use the MACD to combine with the moving average, how do you go by to make the entries?
All right, I've not thought on how to use MACD and then moving average to make entries yet.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so that is it. I guess the question should be the lesson should be systematic. So questions that we've not started learning on that yet may flop with controversies. Yeah. So any step-by-step guide for beginners, like a roadmap, any step-by-step guide for. So we have all the lessons, and this is how it goes. We have Mondays for trade settings. But if you are talking about the lessons, maybe on our YouTube channel, we upload all those information there. So please take your time. We upload all those information there. For RSI, for entry, which time frame should we use? RSI for entry, which time frame should we use? So those who attended the technical analysis, I said it depends on the trader. Some traders make decision on the 15 minutes. Some combine 15 minutes time frame, 1 hour, and then also 4 hours time frame to make decision. So where the trader is looking at the picture, the higher picture on 4 hours and then 1 hour, he make decision on the 15 minutes. So always it should be a personal decision of the trader. 1 hour is good, 15 minutes is good. Some even go to that extent of using 5 minutes time frame to make decision. So that is it. And maybe the more elaboration on that will be based on the next session on technical analysis. So pay attention to that. Leader Aminata will lead that this evening. Leader Aminata will lead that this evening. So when it's due, you get prepared to join. Okay. So I guess that is all for this morning. We spent an hour and then 47 minutes here. That is cool for you to go and then start up with your trading. Okay, it's Friday. Make money and relax for the weekend. It's Friday. Make money and relax for the weekend. So we will also drop signals on the platform. So we have the Revolution platform. We drop signals there, and then other platforms too. We also drop signals there. So get prepared. We will all trade and then make some profits. Whereas, notwithstanding, it should always be this. This is how it's supposed to be. Now we are coming to bring in a new strategy. Listen, and this strategy is going to ensure that everyone will be effective on its own. We are not going to develop followers. Listen, this strategy is not going to help you if you are a follower. We are going to be leaders. And this is how it works. You see, when you go to Israel, there is a history that I learned. And When Israel was disrupted and in 1948 they got back to their land, they created a system. And they said, for the sake of our enemies, now this is what we are going to do. Each and every member in this nation should prepare himself as a warrior, which simply means, so far as you are an Israeli or an Israelite, you should understand that you are a warrior. And that is what prepared the Israel. That is the reason you can see when it comes to war, the Israelites are so strong enough. The Israelites are so strong enough to fight any other country. Sometimes you don't understand, but take your time to read history and you will know the reason why Israel has always been different when it comes to war, because they prepared very well. Do you get it? So this time round, this is called a combat tactical. The combat that we are going to play a tactical game. The strategies are going to be tactical, which will ensure that at the end of the day, every trader would benefit. So prepare yourself. You are an independent trader, and you will need the keys. You will need the strategies to build yourself, and that is the exact thing you are going to provide during this revolution time. Okay, so let's all get prepared to follow. Whenever it is time for us to meet, get on board, learn, and let's all grow together. So, guys,
But
it's Friday.
please, before you go, please clear this from my mind. Concerning the RSI, the 6 and the 12, if I know that maybe the MA is an uptrend, if the market is an uptrend, and I want to enter, you said the DC zone is 40 to 50. So if I want to go for the long, should I, based on the both of the RSI 6 and the 12, to make the entries? If
Yes.
it's 40 to 50, and which one should be 40 and which one should be 50?
Now, we did not say, we said the range is 40 to 50, which simply means the least range, let's say on the short position, if you are on the short position, it simply means when it got to 40, it has really dropped. Do you get it? So the range starts from 50. Now we said 60 may be a consolidation or a pullback, but below 60, 50, it's giving you a confirmation of entry. So someone may decide to enter from 50. When it dropped from 50, 49, 40, 30 may be an exit point for that person. Do you get it? So within the range of 50
I
to
get
40.
it, but what I want to know is that, you see, we are using 2 RSI for the entries. That's why I want to be
Yes,
specific.
I get you. I'm coming there. Hold on. So within this range, if RSI, let's say, if RSI 6 is giving you 50, and then RSI 12 is also giving you 50 or below 50, and you want to short it, that is a communication to you, the trader, that there is a confirmation there that it is still dropping.
Okay.
Do you get it? And then someone who wants to long the trade is also looking at it from the down to the top. Do you get it? And then the person who is also going
Yes,
to
please.
short the trade is also looking at it from the top to the down. That is from 50 to 40.
Okay.
And then the person who is also shorting the trade, longing the trade, is looking at from 40 to 50. So that is the range.
Okay. So please,
So
can I use the stochastic RSI?
Pardon?
Can I use the stochastic RSI?
Of course, you can use, provided you have fair knowledge on that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. All right. So, yes, we are the crypto revolution warriors, of course. We are the crypto revolution warriors, of course, and that is it. That is the fact. That is the fact. And so, if you are being caught sharing something different aside Royal Kio, you'll be removed. Exactly. That is the point. We are so focused. We are so ambitious that nothing is drawing us back. We are so focused and ambitious that nothing is drawing us back. Now, if you are so double-minded, keep it to yourself. Don't bring that frustration to anyone. And sometimes we do forget one thing. A double-minded person is always untaught in his ways. A double-minded person is always untaught. So for you to stay focused. But if you want to be double-minded, stay alone. All right. We don't need any other channel aside Royal Kio. We are so satisfied and we are progressing with that. So guys, let's all stay alert. I urge you, like I said earlier, those that have been using the Crypto Ambassadors platform. Of late, when you go there, you see a new project called Oracle, which is a Ponzi scheme that has been added to it. Please abstain from that. If not, you will end up losing huge sums of money, leading to regret. If you don't want to regret, stay away from that, and it will help you. It will help you a lot. All right. So please don't put your number here. Don't put your
Okay.
number here, please.
Okay.
Yes. You are not supposed to do that.
Thank you.
All right. So I have an announcement to make. Okay, so Ladoris, you can proceed. Before we bring this session to an end, you can proceed.
All right. Thank you all. Good morning to you all. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be connecting from. I'm Doris Angel and happy to see you all here. Please, this evening we have a prospect meeting, an international prospect meeting, okay, where we would have prospects. It's advisable to invite prospects, okay? We don't want the meeting should be filled up with activated members, okay? It's good to send someone who wants to know more about the opportunity, or if you have someone who needs a legit platform where they can be in control over their capital, you can invite them. And the link will be shared across all the various groups. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, 9 a.m. European time, that is 7 a.m. Ghana time. The rest of the countries, I'm sorry, I don't have all up head. So we'll do new user orientation as usual, nothing changes. Okay, I'll continue to educate you on how to navigate through your Royal Kio app, because if you are new or even you are old, you need this knowledge because you need to know where to get the announcement if Royal Kio sends us an announcement, where to check if you are running out of fuel fees, or where to get a referral link, all those things. So make sure you don't miss tomorrow morning session. So that is all I have to say, and I'll leave you with one word. Please focus. If you know what you are looking for, you need to be focused. All right, thank you and have a lovely day. We will drop the YouTube channel here so you can check it out. This recorded meeting will be uploaded there and you can get it. So God be with you. Have a lovely
Thank
Friday.
you. This is Leader Minata. Thank you, Leader Emmanuel. Thank you, Leader Doris. May God bless you all. May God bless all of us. May God give us enough strength because we have more to do. May we never give up, because Royal Kio is a God gift. It's because maybe many people ignore the kind of richness that is in Royal Kio. If you take your time and sit down and understand it, I am not sure that if somebody come and propose something to you, you will follow. No. It is the best of all. I'm talking according to my experience as a crypto trader. This Royal Kio, we are using it since 2021. If you see that we stick on it and we are still here, it's because it's the best of all. I'm not saying there is no robot. There are other businesses. But ladies and gentlemen, I promise you 500% time that if you stick and take your time, read this Royal Kio. I'm not talking about the Jara part. I'm just talking about the trading, because the trading is the product, the pure product of Royal Kio. The other side, which is the compensation or the network, that one is simply Jara. Ladies and gentlemen, if you concentrate on your trade, you do good entries, you will never go wrong. Thank you very much. May God bless everybody who came here, gave he or her time to listen to what Mr. Emmanuel was saying. Bye-bye. I appreciate you all, and Viva Royal Kio.
Viva, viva.
Guys, then let's meet later. Wish you all the best. Bye-bye.
Bye, and thank you.